welcome back. We are here once again with Max, and we are going to be talking about Charisma today. This one's going to be a kind of a short one because there's less to cover with Charisma, although there are a few caveats. So let's get into it. Charisma doesn't have any perks or magazines or items that give bonuses directly to Charisma, with the exception of the Charisma bobblehead. There are several items and perks that you can pick up that give bonuses to Charisma-related things, but nothing that gives a bonus directly to the Charisma attribute. So we're going to skip over that. We're just going to go straight to equipment. So, as you can see, Charisma is one of those things that it has probably the widest selection of items that give bonuses, of clothing and outfits and hats and stuff that you can wear. There's two different pairs of glasses on these mannequins, both of which give a +1 to Charisma. All of these outfits give you a total of +4, 2 from the outfit, 1 from the glasses, 1 from the hat. I wanted to show a few different styles here. There are many different options if you want to try different looks out. That while all of these outfits give a +4, Charisma is the one thing that is the one attribute that doesn't just have a +2. It actually has a +3. Now, I have here Reginald's suit. This is what Reginald's suit looks like in vanilla. This is called a surveyor's outfit. But if you look at it, it's kind of dingy and torn up and muddy boots. And it's got this barbed wire on the side. This outfit does not scream Charisma 3. This, on the other hand, well, now that looks sharp. So, this is a mod that I use that makes this look like this. So this is not the vanilla texture of Reginald's suit. It makes Reginald's suit look like a black suit instead. The female version of it, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, looks like this outfit, like the sequin dress. And my understanding is the intention was for Reginald's suit to look like the suit, but for some reason, it just got the wrong texture and they never fixed it. So I put this mod in that's all it does is reskin the suit. But Reginald's suit, as you can see, has a +3. And there's also a unique hat that gives a +2 to Charisma. And you'll also notice it gives a little bit of defense here as well. This is actually a really nice item. And Reginald's suit, of course, you can also put the ballistic weave in it. So you could, with just these two items right here, you're getting a +5. If you add a pair of those black glasses to make this outfit right here, you're talking about a +6. But we can actually do quite a bit better than that. Also, I just wanted to mention for you power armor aficionados out there, there is a paint job for the power armor that gives a bonus to Charisma. It is the Vault-Tec paint. If you're doing full Charisma, there is actually an outfit that gives you a +2 to Charisma and allows you to put armor over all of it. And you see here, I've got the Unyielding. There is another legendary effect that gives you a +1 to Charisma, but I'm actually going to, for Charisma, recommend Unyielding. I don't recommend it for any other attribute, because any other attribute, generally speaking, Charisma is something you don't use in the field. You don't use it when you're in combat. You use it in settlements. You use it to build settlements. You use it for dealing with merchants. So it's not something that you need to worry about, oh, well, I've pumped my Charisma really super high, so, I need to be worried that my hit points are really low now. You don't have to worry about that. You can focus on pumping your Charisma as much, and all the stuff that you need to do with Charisma, you can use Unyielding with it, and you're not at risk, because you're not going to get attacked while you're transferring settlers from one settlement to another one. Because that's the main thing that you need really ultra high Charisma for, is if you want to have like a really big, huge settlement with like 100 settlers. Because the number of settlers that you can have is capped at 10 plus whatever your Charisma bonus is. So if I have a 12 Charisma, I can have 22 settlers per settlement. No more. But if you want to go really, really super high, you need a super high Charisma. So there's only one outfit in the game that gives you a +2 Charisma, and you can equip all 5 equipment slots. Both arms, both legs, and chest. And that is the fancy plaid suit and tie. Which, interestingly enough, if you actually look at it, there's no tie. It's called the fancy suit, plaid suit and tie, but there's no tie. And then, of course, we got the black rim glasses, and I got the Dapper Gent over here. Let's go ahead and equip all this stuff. You can see that's why I have so much radiation, because I wanted to be able to use the unyielding. All right, and with just that stuff, and I also transferred the settlement object over, so we're already at a charisma of 32. Now, obviously, all of my attributes are going to be super high, except for endurance, because of the unyielding, but we're looking at charisma today. All right, so the trade-off for having such a huge wardrobe with charisma is there are actually very few consumables that give bonuses to charisma. There are no food items. There are a number of alcoholic beverages that give a +1 to charisma. It's +2 if you have Party Boy. So we have Party Boy, so the effects of alcohol are doubled. So this will give us a +2, but alcohol doesn't stack. So it doesn't matter which one you pick, just a simple beer will do. And then we have 4 chems here that you can take. Great Mentats gives a +5, Smooth Operator gives +3, Day Tripper gives +3, and Excel gives +2. And this is it. These are the 5. So you got a really tight kit for temporary charisma here, right? So let's go ahead and take all of this right here, right now, and just pop these to see what we get. And now we're at a 44. Look at that. So that was a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that took us from a 29 to a 44. And that's kind of the cap right there. 45 if we use the Your Special book. So that's our cap right there. Because there's not really a whole lot you can do with charisma. So that's why I say using the unyielding for charisma is the way to go if you want like a super, super high charisma for some reason. Now, here's the caveat. There is not actually a good reason to have a charisma this high. The maximum charisma you could possibly need to get the best price out of vendors is 16. If you have Caps Collector 1 and 2, you only need a 12. So you do not need a huge, gigantic charisma to get the best prices. As far as settlements, if you want to have 55 settlers, you need to have a 45 charisma. But I actually strongly recommend against that, because having built large settlements, you start having issues with the settler AI and pathfinding and stuff like that if you go above like 25 to 30. So my recommendation is to keep it at 25 or below. So while you do need it to build huge settlements, I actually recommend you don't build huge settlements to begin with. The only other thing that you need charisma for are charisma-based speech checks, and you only need a 10 to get the hardest one in the game. So while you can get this huge charisma score, you don't really need it for any meaningful impact on the game. All right, so we're going to put another one up on our leaderboard here. We got a 45 for charisma. So that is charisma. Now, one thing I wanted to mention in closing, there is a chem, Daddio, is the only chem in the game that actually gives a penalty to charisma. So if you're trying to buff all your stats and you suddenly know your charisma goes down a little bit, that's probably where it's coming from. But that's it for now. So next time we will be doing intelligence. Until then, thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.